weird. David just sent me a screenshot of our episode yesterday's thumbnail and just said LOL. And I'm like, what? We crossed out NYC and made Startup Life Jackson Hole pretty funny. So I have this really bad habit, and I think I share it with a lot of entrepreneurs, which is when the shit hits the fan or there's a crisis of any kind, I tend to retreat sort of inside of myself internally. I tend to shut down. I tend to remove contact with the rest of the world. And, you know, right now we're kind of on this hiatus as a team. Most of Commit Action is working remotely. The office is feeling pretty damn quiet. And I've had a little bit of crisis kind of hit. On the personal side, there's some things going on that are pretty stressful right now. And I know that at times like these, I have to keep crushing on business because, you know, one thing that makes any kind of crisis you're going through much better is having a business that's, as an entrepreneur, that's humming along real smoothly, where things are growing, you know, team is crushing and everything is looking really good. And so I woke up this morning thinking, how the hell do I get myself in the zone, show up at work today and absolutely crush? And I realized I gotta fight that habit to retreat. And the way to do that is by reaching out and connecting. So before I dive into any kind of work today, I'm gonna kind of phone a friend. I'm gonna make some calls to some people who I rely on. So the other side of everything that I do, you know, I make so many phone calls every week as the shrink for entrepreneurs. I have so many meetings with the team, kind of from the top down, supporting them and guiding them, helping these other entrepreneurs. Today I'm gonna phone some people who I really want some perspective from to help me. I'm gonna phone some people who can help me kind of keep it real and remember how to be the best version of myself so that I can show up and keep on crushing despite the fact that my mind's elsewhere this week, or today at least, that I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I'm kind of worrying and stressing about. So we're gonna go in and make some calls. Oh man, just continuing our great tradition of phoning one another when the shit hits the fan. It is pretty funny. I was just thinking about the last time we talked and how we're always like, oh, we should totally jump on the phone when things are going well, and then we just never do. Yeah, man. Dirty is a good word for it. How are you doing? Oh, really? He was like, there's two perspectives here. You know, one, it is absolutely your responsibility, and like the fact that you didn't kind of scrutinize yourself, like you've just got to be on top of that. Like it's the most important thing. It's your, you know what I mean? And so I was like, I hear ya. And then he was like, but number two, like the fact that she made this mistake is easily the most damning and like negligent thing I've ever heard in the industry. I'm just calling for the all important fist bump congratulations phone call. I loved getting that email this morning. It sounds like you're crushing. Whatever has happened just now is actually just a result of some epic hard work on your part and a total unwillingness to give up trying new stuff. That was somebody who I've worked with personally back even before Commit Action was even a thing. And it's somebody who actually signed up for Commit Action, was kind of like an early believer in the beta version of our program. I think has been a Commit Action member on and off since in fact, maybe not even on and off, just on since we kind of started this thing. And it's just so awesome to see somebody like make a breakthrough in their business and just have that growth driving formula like nailed. They've figured out that if they just do this one simple thing, they keep on finding strangers and turning them into customers and fans, and yeah, they're crushing it. So for me, sometimes it's just fun to it's fun to just connect and be there for them. We're often the guys that hear a lot, the coaches or me, with the work that I do as a shrink for entrepreneurs. I often see and kind of witness the worst parts of people's business lives, and talk to them about the things that they're most frustrated about. It's the nature of any of this kind of work. Yeah, I have to go out of my way to call people when things are going really well and just kind of be there and witness that as well. I mean, not just for their sake, but for mine as well. It reminds me this is why I do it, and this is what the point of it all is. And so, and in your email as well, you said that you're crushing this conversion rate thing, that you're having this, you're kind of doing this tire kick visit, and that's actually really going well. Because we were talking about that kind of formula years ago, and I remember strategizing right down to the kind of using an iPad to collect information, because you had to streamline down to the minute to be able to make it all happen. So it sounds like you've cracked the code on the formula of how to do that. You have to show up and kind of hold space for the team, and be the one that has their shit together, because uncertainty is a cancer, especially in small businesses and any business really. I think that one of the biggest problems for entrepreneurs is isolation and the sense of loneliness that really becomes a problem when there's something going wrong and there's a bit of stress and there's a bit of crisis. Loneliness is something that you can shrug off, when you're really busy, when you're feeling great and things are humming along nicely. But it's in those moments where you kind of realize that it's just you. And I think that I'm just so grateful, really, that I have these friends. That buddy of mine is somebody I met within days of moving to New York years and years ago. He doesn't live here anymore, but he's one of my best friends, was a groomsman at my wedding, has been there kind of with me, helped spec out the Commit Action app, introduced me to Ryan Glover, who developed our MVP. He's kind of been intertwined in what I've been doing without actually being a part of the team or the business at any point. And I'm just so grateful that there's folks like that I can kind of send an email to or just dial and they pick up, and I can just get that reminder that I'm not alone, that I don't have to do this alone. And I think everybody needs that. Every entrepreneur needs to realize that they're not doing it alone, that there's other folks out there.